Greetings to all of you. Firstly, I would like to thank you for inviting me as a speaker for this webinar on environmental labels and declaration. Okay. Talking about this topic, this is related to our economic sectors in Malaysia. That includes agriculture, manufacturing, services, construction, as well mining and quarrying sectors in Malaysia. All these sectors aims to embrace sustainability in their daily operation. This is also called circular economy, where the elements of sustainability being implemented in their daily operations. Okay, so these operations are done based on certain indicators, guidelines, in order to adhere to the sustainability aspects, right? So obviously, this is to me, this is a huge topic, okay, that can have various focus. Hence, for today, I would like to focus on two things. First, on MyGAP, Malaysian Good Agricultural Practices, and second, a little on green financing. So in order to implement initiatives that will later result in labels, okay, this will require financial strength. So how in Malaysia per se, what are the opportunities for the producers to utilize in order to embrace the sustainability as well achieve to get their labeling activated? All right, so without further ado, let me show to you, let's go on with MyGAP. So MyGAP is Malaysian Good Agricultural Practices. So this is the practice that is embraced by the farmers, by the agricultural producers, right? So if you look at this, there are various certificates related to agro-foods in Malaysia, all right? So basically, when you talk about MyGAP, it's about how farmers produce agricultural products in a sustainable manner, all right? Okay, what is GAP? Good Agricultural Practice. It integrates system to manage the hazards associated with the land, input, the process, and output of agricultural production. So the main goal is to achieve sustainability. And what is MyGAP? It is a certification scheme drawn by Malaysian Department of Agriculture since 2002. It was formerly known as Salam, okay, Good Practice Scheme, to recognize farms that practice GAP. The scheme is constructed based on Malaysian standard MS 1784 2005, Crop Commodities GAP. Requirement for MyGAP is a certification scheme developed according to Malaysian standard. Okay. So you can see here that the focus, besides environment, it also emphasizes on food safety, workers' health, and also food quality, right? So what are the benefits of MyGAP? Of course, quality agricultural products, more environmentally responsible and production in a sustainable way. Okay? And it's easier for goods to be exported. So once the farmers will obtain, okay, this MyGAP certification, this will help them to export their products to overseas. Okay, so MyGAP is worldwide, widely accepted. So this also helps in their business to make money. It's a qualification that promotes one certification program, right? So it support and promote consumer acceptance of certification, okay, in these products. So here are some examples of MyGAP certified products. So if you buy eggs, you can also see, you can also check if there is this label, if there is MyGAP label. If there is a label, then like if you ask me, for me personally, I feel more confident to buy because I know it's sustainably grown, right? It's more safe for my health. Okay, so here are examples. And then if you look in terms of the GAP certificate recipients, that means the farmers who got the certificate. If you look at the trend, we can see in most of the states, there is an increasing trend in terms of these recipients who got this MyGAP certified. Okay, so this could be due to increase, okay, this could reflect the importance of MyGAP. Okay. And in terms of the area, 32,201.34. Okay. So hectare, so such a huge area practicing sustainability. So this is what we want. Okay. In fact, I hope that these numbers will continuously grow in Malaysia. So there are various promotions done to promote these MyGAP products, certified products to the consumers. Okay, this promotion is currently done by Department of Agriculture, Malaysia. Okay, again, this additional pictures. So this is mainly intended to create awareness among consumers on MyGAP. Okay, so next, so it was a brief sharing. Okay. So next, I would like to share to you on green financing. Okay. So green financing is something trending now. Okay? Because if you want to initiate any initiatives, you need to have financial strength, right? So growing concerns of climate crisis mitigation in Malaysia, okay, has created a pressure for the manufacturing sector, for example, for public listed companies, small and medium enterprises in the country. So this is one of it. If we look at the climate change per se, one of the main contributor is the carbon dioxide emission. So our ultimate goal is to reduce that gas emission. As well, in a holistic manner, we call it GHG, greenhouse gas emissions, right? So we want to reduce that to save our environment. Okay, so there are green financing schemes. Okay, so we talk about FTSE for Good. This is run by Bursa Malaysia for public listed companies. Okay, and then Green Technology Financing Scheme. So when we talk about environment, climate change, how to save our environment, the tool is either there are a few tools, okay, and in terms of economic tools, one of it is in terms of the tax in production, okay. We use the medium of tax as a tool, and then in terms of the technology that the firm can use in order to reduce, so we call it abatement technology. So in order to buy the abatement technology, the firm, the company, they need money. So how they can do? So here are the ways for them to secure some funding to buy the technologies. So this scheme addressed the need for public companies, listed companies, small and medium, respectively, to improve their operations sustainably through financing. Okay, and then the Malaysian government introduced the Green Technology Financing Scheme with two cohorts from the year 2010 and 2021. So when you talk about this initiative, this is not something new. It has kicked out, started since 2010. So it's not something new, actually, right? And we talk about the National Green Technology Policy. So to fulfill this policy, the Green Technology Financing Scheme was introduced in 2010. Okay, the allocation started with 1.5 billion, such a huge amount, right? Back in 2010, to spur green technologies in Malaysia, particularly for energy, manufacturing sector, water, waste management, transportation, and building sectors. Okay, and then the first cohort of GTFS from 2010 to 2017 received 3.5 billion, and then 2019 to 2020, 2 billion. So this total up 5.5 billion. So this shows the seriousness of our government on the climate change, on addressing the climate change. So next, the Malaysian Green Technology and Climate Change Center, MGTC, is the one who manage this GTFS, right? So, yeah. And in terms of this pie chart shows the sectors that dominantly, okay, the sectors that applied for this financing scheme. So you can see here, 87% came from energy sector. So in a way, of course, we should be proud that this shows the seriousness of our economic sectors in embracing sustainability towards combating climate change, right? And in 2021, in the national budget, the GTFS had allocation of 2 billion. Okay, and the next one is, we call it the tax exemption for sustainable and responsible investment. Okay, so this is another initiative. We talk about exemption, green sukuk grant until 2025. Right, so when you talk about exemption, the company, the manufacturing industries, or any sectors involved, they could save some money. For example, in Malaysia, we had the vehicle sales tax exemption. It started, if I'm not mistaken, in 2020, and it ended last year, 30th June 2022. So what is the implication? So for me as a consumer, with the exemption, okay, if let's say I plan to buy a car, I could save up to around 4,000, for example. So it depends on the type of car as well. Okay, so it could be as much as 4,000, for example. So that is how significant. So why they introduce exemption is to motivate, is to help the industry to embrace sustainability. Okay, so that is one of the a popular tool that in the world that we use to encourage. It can be encourage consumer, it can be encourage the producers of goods and services. So this is in terms of the economic tool, right? Okay. So with that, that's all for the sharing today. And I wish all the best for the remaining session of this webinar. Once again, I thank you for inviting me today. Have a good day. Bye. See you.